Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a week in review. It's been a crazy week and I'd love to just break it down. I've rated everything on a 10 scale. It's probably super biased, but whatever. It doesn't actually matter that much. So let's get into it and started. Honorable mention for last Sunday. I had a birthday dinner for my cousin. She recently bought a house, so I can't relate to that, but you know what? That's cool. We went to a local Japanese restaurant. It was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It was great. Monday, my classes, 6 out of 10. I had a meeting for my campus's film festival. 7 out of 10 for that. We got some stuff done. It was great, but like pretty average day. Gonna say nothing too special happened on Monday. On Tuesday, which was the day that a specific section of our campus housing system opened up, I secured my campus housing for next year. So that's great. 10 out of 10 for that. I really did not know what I was gonna do, honestly. If that didn't go through, I was gonna have to figure something out. Class. My evening class, 9 out of 10. Great. We watched, hold on. Sorry, I had a really hard sneeze. Anyway, my evening class, 9 out of 10. We watched a Studio Ghibli movie, because that's kind of what the whole class is about, honestly. We watched Castle in the Sky, and honestly, people might come at me for not having seen a lot of Studio Ghibli movies, and by not seeing a lot of them, I mean not seeing any of them, but I see what all the hype is about. Castle in the Sky was low-key super fun. I audibly laughed in multiple parts. This isn't a film review, but I watched another movie again this week that I'll talk a little bit about, but it was so fun. It was super cute. I loved it. It's now definitely in my top ranks of movies. On Wednesday, classes again, same classes from my Monday classes, 7 out of 10, pretty fun. I did record something for the festival. I have a lot of work that I do for it, so I'm making some of our, not promotional videos, but some of the videos that you see before the screening, so I'm kind of working on that. And then on Thursday, my group for making a short film, we hosted our auditions, which I would 6 out of 10, couple rocky moments, pretty average, nothing too crazy happened, though we did get a lot of stuff sorted out though, which was good, and we had a great turnout, which was kind of unexpected for a student project. And I did also don't know, we advertised it, but not that much. Class that I also had that day, pretty 5 out of 10, it was fine. I'm not a super big fan of that class. Also, everybody who's taken it has told me that it sucks and is bad and horrible, so I'm kind of coming into it with this negativity bias, so hopefully it doesn't suck and isn't bad and isn't horrible. Then I worked. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It was the middle of the night and nobody was there, so I didn't really have to do anything. Then on Friday, now where things are starting to ramp up, I'm doing more fun stuff. On Friday, first, I worked a shift early in the morning. I have really short shifts because I work on campus. So my first shift, 7 out of 10. Not much happened, got some stuff done. My second shift later in the day, 3 out of 10. Busiest shift. Sorry, I just sneezed again. I should maybe get that checked out or something. It's definitely allergies. But anyway, second shift of the day, literally everything started happening. So people were coming to me asking for stuff. One of the vending machines near where I work broke, and so the campus doesn't actually handle that. The manufacturers do. So that it broke, so that I'm calling the manufacturers up to be like, hey, I'm so sorry to call you about this, here's where I am, here's the vending machine. And then they ask for a name or number on file for the account. Like, I know what the account is under, so, which I don't. And I'm like, I told you where the campus is. Is that not the name under the account? But no, luckily, like, they all have their little, like, ID numbers, so I just asked if I can use that, and it was fine. Anyway, I don't think it's fixed, but it's not making the terrible grating noise it made when it first broke, so there's that. And then also, there were struggles with the printer. Luckily, the printer wasn't broken. I just needed to click some buttons and help a student figure out how to, like, use our system, so it wasn't too bad, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Then I had my film festival meeting. We got some stuff done, made some deadlines, to which I had to go get an extension for one of the deadlines I was working on working with the material we show before the films, which is our sizzle reel and the sponsorship reel, which basically, like, it's basically a trailer of all the films that we're gonna show, and then, like, all of the sponsors that we have. So luckily I was able to get that extension to the end of this weekend. I'm done with them now, thank goodness. That was something I finished up Saturday. Video editing is not, like, I'm not as good at it as I wish I was, or at the very least I'm not as creative as I wish I was, which is like a learning thing. But yeah, so I just really couldn't get it where I wanted to, but I asked one of my fellow peers about it, and they gave me some advice after I showed them what I had, and it worked, not for the reasons they thought it worked for, but it did work, which was great. And then also later that night I saw Iron Lung for the second time with a friend of mine who hadn't seen it yet, because I watched it for the first time last weekend on the 29th or 30th, the last Friday. So I watched it then, and I really enjoyed it. Our theater was one of the theaters that had issues with the audio calibration, so it was kind of hard to hear certain parts of it. When I went to rewatch it again locally here in town, it wasn't as bad, which, like, thank goodness, because the friend I went with is partially hard of hearing. I say partially, you kind of, like, are or you're not hard of hearing, but she is hard of hearing, not to an extreme degree to my knowledge, but, like, definitely, like, it does impact her. So luckily it wasn't too bad, and she came off of it and she really loved it, which I thought was great. So definitely when that physical copy comes out, we will be watching it with closed captions. Subtitles will be on so we can get the full enjoyment of it, which is great. Saturday rolls around. Like I mentioned, I finished up my work for the film festival, and I also, with that same friend and another friend of ours who actually, he got us into it, we played Warhammer 40k for what was both of our second time playing. It was an interesting time. It was fun though. We didn't play, like, the full actual rules, but we zhuzhed it up, and it was very homebrew, but it was super fun. We convinced another one of our friends to play, thank goodness. It's always more fun, the more the merrier. I did lose, and she did win, and then gloated about it. And then later we played card games, and she continued to win, which, you know, whatever. And then finally, last night, I don't know how this person came upon this, but I am now the proud owner of, like, a hot dog costume. I don't know what they asked me. Like, they asked me if I wanted it, and who was I to say no? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but I'm gonna use it for something, probably. At the very least, I have a Halloween costume that I did not have before. So, just saying, Halloween, watch your back. because I'm planning early, I guess. But that was kind of my week. Most of it was pretty chill. I would say, like, emotionally speaking, things were kind of rough. I don't know what's been going on, if it's stuff in my personal life or just in general, or maybe it's the weather. I've heard from other people they're having similar things where it's just been really low. I would like for that to get better and not be the case this coming week. So we're going to start the week off strong. Overall, rating the week, 7 out of 10. It was pretty, okay. Like, physical stuff that happened, 7 out of 10. Things are pretty good. Emotionally speaking, like a 4 out of 10. We could have done better. I think that averages to like a 6.5 out of 10. Or wait, I don't know what that averages to. Somebody do the math because I'm not doing it. But anyway, it averages out to a pretty okay week. So anyway, that's just been my week in review. Pretty good, pretty okay. No, honestly, not too bad. I hope that your week goes well for you this week. I hope last week goes well for you. And I hope that the rest of your weeks go well for you. It's pretty interesting lately. And I hope that the things in your life don't completely bog you down. We can get through this together. Forever. Shakira, Shakira. Anyway, this has been Lily, signing off.